Hey everyone, it's Michelle Patterson here with Ella Vaughn, and this video is going to be all the amazing things about Colorado Springs. Now, I moved here about 2 years ago from New York City, and there are just some things that I have observed that maybe, locals can of course give you tons of great information about what to see and what to experience here. But I think it's also helpful to have someone who just got here and what their experience is and, how I learned how to do certain things and so on and so forth. Now, if you haven't caught the other video, I made another video. It's kind of like the downside of Colorado Springs, so you can check that out as well. So let's get started on what is so amazing about Colorado Springs. First and foremost, it's sort of a mid-sized city. I want to say the population's like 500,000. So it has that small town feel a little bit, if you like that, but also there are really great things to do around here, and you're within an hour's drive of Denver, and I think Red Rocks is up in that area as well. So lots of things to do like that, and of course you have all these cool historical things here in Colorado Springs, but also little towns like Cripple Creek is not that far away. You can go to Canyon City. The mountains, of course, are right here. So it's just kind of a nice mid-sized city that still offers culture, entertainment, and again, the history is very, very rich here, so on and so forth. Then, of course, there is just how strikingly beautiful this town is. I'm not kidding you. I came out of the grocery store one time, and there's just the Rockies laid out in front of me, and there's like white caps and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I live here. Like, I live here. This is amazing. It is just as stunning as you've heard. And of course, Colorado Springs has the Garden of the Gods, which is, okay, I'm about to say this wrong, but I want to say it's like, I don't know, like billions of old sand beaches or something up on its side. I didn't stay for the tour. I was just passing by it. So that's all I can give you. I probably didn't even hear it correctly. Now that's a big tourist attraction, but if you can work around that, it's wonderful. It's just amazing, especially when the sun is just going down and it's hitting the rocks. If you Google it, you'll see photographs of Garden of the Gods at sunset. It looks like a painting. It doesn't even look real, or it looks like another planet. I mean, just spectacular. A lot of people like to go there and meditate. It's a very peaceful kind of place as well. So in addition to the Garden of the Gods has a really cool nature center where, again, you can go out on this, I don't know, like balcony thing and just have the most incredible view. Just the most incredible view. Of course, this is the town of the Air Force Academy and a lot of Air Force bases. So if you're an aviation geek like I am, you're going to love this place. Just yesterday, actually, I was out for a hike and I saw, I'm going to say they're fighter planes or something, going overhead. I'm like, this is so cool. And you can hear them roaring through the air. And I'm like, yes, I love that stuff. So that's going to be a really good thing for you as well. While we're on environment and just sort of culture, and while I'm thinking of it, because I will forget this, this is a very dog-friendly place. Like almost to a crazy extent. So if you're a dog lover, if you have dogs, there are amazing dog parks all around here. I think the best one in the country is not far from where I live. And I've been down there and it's really funny. I mean, it's like a country club or something for the dogs. They just, run around in the water and stuff like that. But if you don't like dogs, yeah, dogs are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're on the trails. I have gone hiking and had to, come around the corner and like, oh, there's 3 dogs right in front of me. At my complex, actually I have a mini dog park right outside my window here. So dogs are barking nonstop. There is the smell of dog feces in the air. I mean, these things happen. But I don't have a dog myself because I travel too much. It wouldn't be fair to have one. But boy, it would be so cool to have a dog in this town because there'd be so much I could do, including, and let's roll with it here, hiking, outdoors stuff. Now, even if you say I'm not an outdoorsy kind of person, you will probably find some activity that you love here. I absolutely fell in love with hiking. And it took me a couple of falls to realize I got to get different shoes. I have to, I started to feel it out. Certain hiking trails you probably don't want to do when the sun is striking down on your head because there's no shade. You know what I mean? Like you just get to know at what time of year might be the best trails to take. And of course, there's always somebody there to offer some guidance, which is really cool as well. So you got the view. You've got incredible hiking. I mean, hiking beyond your wildest dreams. A lot of people go kayaking, of course, mountain biking. I got a whole opinion about that over at the other video. I like the good mountain bikers, but the mean ones, not so much. We have the Broadmoor, which I'm looking at right now, and it's this historical hotel. Again, this place is just so rich with history, and it's just amazing. And it's such a beautiful place to just walk around. Because I live near it, I don't need to stay there, but I do love going, just driving over, having a drink at the bar or whatever, and just walking the grounds or having lunch over there. It's just, oh, it's so gorgeous. So part of the Broadmoor is the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, which actually it's not located that far from the Broadmoor. And again, the history is all connected there. I don't need to give you guys a history lesson on Colorado Springs, I suppose. It wouldn't be, unless you're into that. But the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, I'm not typically a big fan of zoos. I'm very, I love animals. Absolutely love and adore animals. And so I try to be very conscientious about where I give my support. But the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is probably the most unusual zoo I have ever seen in my life. It's in the mountains. It is glorious. So what you have, like, yes, they have a moose there. Yes, they have bears and what have you, but they're pretty much in their natural habitat. They're not, they're pretty happy, I think. There's just a couple of animals that I saw that I'm like, oh, no, that one shouldn't be in the zoo because they're not so happy, but it's because they're sick or whatever. The zoo actually takes in a lot of rescues, and they have an incredible sort of interaction with the animals. They do the training for the enrichment. So they have interaction with them, and they give them treats, feed them and stuff, and they let people see it so that they can learn about the animals. So I don't feel like this particular zoo just feels less exploitive. Do you know what I mean? And of course you can feed the giraffes and you can interact with the giraffes. I think it's wonderful. And especially if you have kids, it's such an incredible experience. I don't have kids, and I go over there, number one, to hike because it's a spiral upwards, and just to see the animals. And you can tell, like, the people who work there, they're so knowledgeable about the animals and they love them. I've seen some of them come in, like, because I go over there a lot to, again, just to get exercise. That's my mall walking. I've gotten very close to the animals. Bhutan comes when I actually am like, hey, Bhutan, it's the white snow leopard. He comes right over. Like he's gotten to know me. But these people will come in sometimes on their days off and go over and visit the animals. That's how much they love them. And like I said, they take in a lot of rescues and nurse them back to health. So it's a cool little facility. So some other things that you can do, I mean, again, the possibilities here are endless, especially if you like outdoor activities. They have, what was it? Okay, so they have Seven Falls, which is strikingly beautiful. And I think that's owned by the Broadmoor as well. That costs $14 to get in, and you have to park somewhere else and take a shuttle over. So I've only been there once, but it was glorious, like these steep rocks, and it's all paved. So they have a shuttle, I think, that goes back and forth. So if you're somebody who has like a leg injury, or you're just not moving the way you used to, or you just don't feel like it or whatever, you could take the shuttle and see everything. So that's really incredible. The mountain towns, there's Cascade and Woodland Park. Those are extraordinarily beautiful. There are great restaurants here, a lot of great restaurants. So I'm going to publicly tell you about a restaurant, and I want to make a special announcement to this particular restaurant that my other channel is a little more popular. This one's not so much, not yet. But if it gets like even more overrun because I said this, just make sure you always have a seat for me. Okay, that's all I ask. So probably one of my favorite restaurants is Over Easy. They have two locations. One is downtown and one is at University Center. Now I tend to go to the one at University Center because they have this extraordinary view. It's in like a complex, like a shopping complex kind of, but they have a really great view of the mountains. Downtown doesn't really have that, and downtown has a different feel. It just depends on kind of what mood you're in. The downtown one, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like downtown, like downtown of a big city, whereas University Center, it's just as busy, but it has a little bit more of a relaxed feel, and it has an outdoor patio, and again, the mountains are right there, so on and so forth. But incredible food, unbelievable service. Like, they got forget Disney World. They don't have the happiest people on earth. I think Over Easy does. And they also, what do they have? Santero? I think that's the other restaurant. That's right next to Over Easy downtown. And that is Tex-Mex, I want to say. Phenomenal. Beautiful, phenomenal. I mean, there are tons of great restaurants around here. And they always have like events going on. Now, one of the things, there's Old Colorado City, which is really cool as well. But be aware, Halloween's weird here in my mind. The kids walk down the street in Old Colorado City. It's just jam-packed. Just be aware. Old Colorado City often has places that are highly overpriced. Not all of them. There's some like Urban is a good store. Yeah. Oh, and downtown shopping, Halo is a great store. I love them. And I love the people who run it. They're just so cool. And they always have cool events going on as well. But yeah, Old Colorado City is actually like, it was Old Colorado Springs. So very, very historical, although it kind of looks like my hometown. I'm from, east of here. So those buildings are older than the ones down there. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Great. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many cool things. They have the Olympic Training Center here. Just you name it, there's tons of stuff to do here. I could go on and on, but we won't. I'll spare you. One of the other things that I really love about Colorado Springs, especially, now there's sometimes I've had some really bad customer service around here, but for the most part, like if you go to a good restaurant, like they look put together, they're going to have good servers and they're going to have good mixologists for those drinks. But like, because they get so much, this is kind of off topic, but just because they get a lot of hail here, I needed to get my car fixed and they're just so used to taking care of things. I found a great, like for example, a great body shop, and the guys were so cool, down to earth. They took really good care of my car, turned it around really quickly. So you have that kind of feel where it feels like when you find people that you can work with, like I'm starting to be very friendly with my bank, because that it's a little more personalized, and they're going to remember you. And yet it's not completely that small town feeling where it's like you feel like you have no privacy. So it's a nice blend. These people are foodies around here. Not foodies like what you would find in Boulder necessarily, but they have tons of farmers markets. They have like all kinds of grocery stores here. This town probably has the biggest variety of grocery stores I have ever experienced. So, like, of course, they have their Trader Joe's. I'm sorry, I don't even think I finished what I was saying about Over Easy in University Place. I go and get breakfast, and then I go to Trader Joe's because it's right near there. Get my groceries for the week, and I go home. So it's like all these cool things are all over the place, very conveniently located. Just there are some weird things about Colorado Springs, like downtown. If you are a nose-in parking person, you'll be fine downtown. Most parking spots are like that. So very little need to parallel park around here. And so maybe that'll make some of you very, very happy. But yeah, overall, as I was explaining in the other video, I had a really hard time fitting into Colorado Springs. I found people to be kind of standoffish, sometimes cold, but it's changing for me a little bit now, and I think that's because I stopped trying to be friends with those kinds of people, and I'm just like, okay, bye. All right, you're gonna do your thing, go ahead and do your thing. And I just, I'm open to meeting new kinds of people here, so I can always report back on that. But yeah, I've been here for 2 years, and so far, I mean, I've had a lot of friends. I had no problems making the friends, but they ended up having some sort of something going on, and yeah, very disconcerting. And a lot of people here live a very different lifestyle than what I'm accustomed to, so that was a little hard fitting in. But especially if you're a young family and you have dogs and I think you would get along great here. Again, if you're my age and you're single, not so much. It's been hard. It's been very hard. Everyone's married, or you know what I mean? Like they're just off doing their own thing and what have you. But there's a lot to love about this town. And when it snows, it's glorious. I mean, it is just the most, it's just so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And one of the other cool things is when it does snow, it typically melts by the very next day. So you can go on about your way. But yeah, just a lot of good options here. A lot going on and lots of nature. So if you're into that, this is your place. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, let me know. If I can answer it, I will. Or if you're like, hey, Michelle, what is your opinion about this, this, and this in Colorado Springs? If I haven't been there, I'll go there. If they let me vlog, I'll vlog. If not, I'll just make a video at home giving you my feedback. So let me know. Till next time, guys, take care.